I just saw some spit come out. I mean, it's time to start. That sounds like something straight out of a porn, I swear. No, this is not a porn today. What a weird way to start this video. Okay. I've been trying to get the courage to make this video. I'm not going to do any edits. I wanted to I'm getting more familiar and more comfortable with making YouTube videos again, which I have been so uncomfortable because I'm so insecure and I hate myself so much lately. We'll get more into that in a second. You can do it. It's okay. You can talk to yourself. It's fine. You're already crazy enough as it is. Okay. I just spit again. What is the problem here? I'm gonna show just the bandages. Okay, real quick. That's it. Real fast. Okay, that's over with. It's not a secret anymore. I mean, I've admitted it in last videos, but I was hiding it to lots of people and my friends and co-workers, but I cut myself. I don't know how many times it's been at this point. Okay, let's just try to forget that there could be hundreds of people watching this, and I want to explain to people why mentally ill people cut themselves. I feel that there's such a bad image out there about self-mutilation, self-harm, cutting, because it's awful. It's a horrible, stupid fucking thing to do. Don't look at me as like a role model in this sense. I will punch you in the face because I hate that I even started in the first place. Seriously, I'll hunt you down and punch you in the face. Don't do it. What is the saying? Do what I teach, but not what I don't know. I think a lot of people will be able to understand what I was getting at there. Anyways, I know this is all over the place, but sorry. That's just how it is when I'm anxious. So, let me just kind of give you a backstory when I started cutting and how. Anyways, okay, so I started cutting when I was in 6th grade. I'm 24 years old. God. I'm 24 years old now, and I still do it. So what? That's 11 to 24. Jeez. That doesn't help. Let me just say this as a disclaimer too to everybody who's watching it and already has mentally, already struggles with their own mental illness. Do not do this. Do not start it. Because it doesn't, it makes me feel so much better in the moment and maybe for the next couple hours. But I constantly, sorry if I'm shaking a little bit. I constantly have to hide my arm from people. The only time I'm not hiding my arm is when, well, first of all, if I'm wearing a long sleeve, I mean, there you go. See? Or if, sorry, this is really hard. I want to do it though while it's raw, because I feel like I'm gonna throw up. Okay. Sorry, this is not gonna be edited. I don't want it to be. I like how all the other videos haven't been, and it's kind of allowed me to get back more into YouTube and just like, hey, this is how I talk. I'm sorry, I'm all over the place. I'm anxious as hell. What do you want from me? That's just what happens when you're anxious. Anyways, back to the topic. Started when I was in 6th grade. It progressively got worse as I got older. Maybe a year ago. No, not even a year ago. Like 6 months ago, I'd say, I don't know. I can't. The last year has been just a mess. I can't think of a proper timeline. I'm just, that sound is exactly how I feel in here. Just don't know what's going on. I hate every single bit of myself. I want to get to that point where I like myself again. Okay. The reason why, let me just give you a little backstory. Sorry, there are children running by while I'm telling this story. Children, shut up. Go have fun somewhere else. This is a serious moment. They heard me, they ran away. I am, I'll be having an anxiety attack, and I don't know if any of you have had it, many of you had anxiety attacks, but I know that many of you had anxiety because it's a normal human emotion. You get it when, bad things happen and you're anxious and you're nervous. You're about to make a presentation. You're anxious to walk up. It's a normal human emotion, but it's a scary word to people like us, even though it's a word used probably 50 million times a day. Oh, what's wrong? Oh, it's just anxiety. Oh, what's wrong? Oh, it's just anxiety. It gets to that point when, people close to me ask me what's wrong. I say it's just anxiety, which means to them it's oh, she can't help it. It's just shit going on in her head. She needs a minute. She needs a minute. Just give her some space. Back to the anxiety attacks. So, if you've ever had a really bad anxiety attack, let me give you some details for the people out there who have never had an anxiety attack, what it feels like. It honestly feels like you're dying. 100%. A full-blown major anxiety attack for me, I feel like it's the end of the world. Not for everybody, but just for myself. I've completely lost my mind and I'm gone. I have no control over it anymore. My chest closes up. My heart is beating so fast, I feel like I'm having a heart attack. There have been people who have had heart attacks in the anxiety treatment center that I went to. I talked to somebody who had a heart attack, and they've had an anxiety attack, and they're like, yeah, we understand. So, you feel like you're dying. You feel like there's nothing you can do to make this stop. Just make the craziness in your head stop. Turn off. Just shut the fuck up, JJ. Just let me. Sorry, that was my go-girl. Just, I can't, I just starting to get a little. Alright, this is gonna be all over the place, but sorry. Cutting has never been something I've wanted to do for attention, and that could be easily said, and lots of people could be like, oh, okay, well then why do you do it? Because when I'm having those anxiety attacks, when I'm feeling like I'm losing my mind, I'm losing a grip with myself, that physical pain is so much better and nicer than the mental pain and the mental anguish I'm going through at that moment. My brain automatically goes towards the cut. It starts wiring to that problem because, oh shit, that's just how the brain, at least I have that part working in my brain where it can be like, oh, you're hurt, let's focus on that. And so that's what my brain does, and it takes the anxiety away a bit and it lets me focus on the cut. It didn't used to be as bad because my anxiety wasn't as bad. It's gotten so much worse as I've gotten older. Just because I've become an adult and I don't feel like an adult, and I just see my life going before my eyes while I'm just sitting in bed every day because I can't get up. It got to a point, though, where I couldn't hide the scars anymore, you know, because I could go in public and go to old jobs and kind of just play it off because the scars were really old from like high school, so they had kind of gone away a bit, or they weren't very bad cuts, so the scars weren't that bad. It got to a point where I had an anxiety attack, and it was over something completely fucking stupid. I cut myself, and yeah, that was the time where I had to get stitches, and I remember sitting there looking at it saying, "You stupid idiot. Why did you go that deep, JJ? Now people are gonna know." It's embarrassing. But I want to make this video so that I can bring attention to why people do it. Of course there are going to be people out there who do it for attention. Of course there are. It's just, there's a reason why people think that all people, you know, not everybody in the world thinks that people who harm themselves, sorry, that people who harm themselves do it for attention, but a lot of people still think that's the case. But when it really comes down to it, if that person's doing it for attention, don't you think they need help too? If they're so desperate for that attention, for that just, I can't even, I don't know how to word it properly, but you know what I'm saying, the attention. If they're so desperate for that they'd go to the length to harm their own self, there's something wrong with that person. I want to let you know out there too, everybody who's watching, fuck you, all the Tumblr people who have made it like some like romantic kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, they romanticize self-harm and they make it into some like beautiful thing. Oh, this person's struggling and look at these scars show how she's been through so much. No. Let me tell you something. When I look down at my fucking arm, I just think, everybody's gonna see this. If I have kids one day, they're gonna see this. When I'm doing well, I'm fighting my anxiety, and the stupid demon that I call anxiety is coming out of my head. I'm working out, I'm kicking life's ass. I look down at my arm, and I get a pain in my chest because it just reminds me of all the shit that I went through, you know? I don't look at it as like a triumph. Oh, these scars show you all you've went through. No. It's embarrassing. I want to slap myself in the face. No, instead I cut myself. Yeah, okay. I think slapping myself in the face would be better than cutting myself. I had to get 12 stitches on that one, and there's no going back to the life that I had before where I could hide it. Everybody sees it. If a place wants to hire me, they'd see it. It's not romantic. It's not special. It's stupid. Don't do it. I'm just trying to tell you why I do it. I have a dream. Sorry, I have a dream. I'm shaking. The video ended, sorry. It's a long video. It's a lot of me not saying anything. I apologize. But it's scary to admit that you do something when you want to feel strong, but this portrays you as so weak, you know, in my opinion. I don't like handing money to the fast food guy or my credit card to the movie ticket lady because they can see my arm. Isn't that weird? That's what I think about. Not all of them look, but most of them do. And it's not because the people are mean. It's just a general curiosity when you see a bunch of scars on someone's arm. How did they get those? And the fact that mine are so lined and uniformed, you know, there's no way I can get away with saying, oh, this just cut me. That's how I would, I've gotten really good with not letting anxiety show through when I'm around my friends or in public or when I would work in my old jobs. I'm really good at putting on a face, and so lots of people would ask me, which let me just point out, this happened all the time when I was at work. There'd be like 6 people in the back because I'd work at a pizza place, and one person would see it. And I had worked there on and off for like 3 years or 4 years. No, it was like 2 years. No, it was 3 years. Yeah. And they would say, oh, JJ, what's that scar on your arm? My face is getting red, honestly, just thinking about it. Or maybe I'm just overthinking, probably. And they're like, and I just make up an excuse because I didn't want to tell them, obviously. And then they'd be like, oh, are you cutting yourself? Like, joking around. And then I'd joke around with them because that was what I would think. It's like, oh, yeah, if I joke around about self-harm, there's no way they're going to think I do it. I'm a dumbass. Don't cut yourself, okay? Don't be stupid like me in that sense. It's kind of like an alcoholic or, you know, someone, okay, remember in Flight? I don't know if any of you guys saw Flight. I'm sure many of you did. It's a great movie. If you haven't, Denzel Washington kicks ass in that movie in a metaphorical kind of way, you know, acting style. Anyways, he, spoiler alert, actually, no, we can do this without a spoiler alert. At one point, he's discussing his alcoholism with other people, and he's saying how he don't do it. It just brings you more pain. Like, just coming from someone who has cut themselves, I want to be that guinea pig in a sense. And you know, if I suffer through all this, at least, you know, and I did all this stupid shit to myself, at least let me spread the word and tell people don't do it. It's not, find a different outlet. I've kind of crossed the point of no return, and I have a little bit of an addiction to it because I know that feeling when I have an anxiety attack. I know that release I get from it. But there are other amazing ways that you can release all of that tension. You can punch your pillow, you can scream into your pillow, you can, don't punch the wall. I've done that. It's not, just don't do that. Yeah. Just punch things, you know, not humans, not yourself. Get a punching bag, you know, get a giant teddy bear if you need to. I wouldn't do this. I think teddy bears are humans. I'm still in that mindset where I'm a child and they're humans to me. But just get one if you need to and just beat the shit out of it. You know, this is another thing. This is where I'm going to end this really long ass video with. One thing I do know, which one day it will get through to my head. The cutting will subside. I will never do it again. I'll get to that point one day, I swear. Anxiety attacks don't last longer than 30 minutes. It's 30 minutes? Yeah. 30 minutes. It's no longer than 30 minutes for sure. So, if you need to, just punch your bed. Punch the floor, the carpeted floor. It might, if punching something soft isn't good enough for you, just don't cut yourself. Take it from someone who knows. Be smarter about it. I want to punch all those Tumblr people in the face, I swear. It's not cute. It's not magical. It's not some great little trophy I carry around in my arm. It's just embarrassing. Corinne just texted me. Sorry. Okay, I'm gonna go. I know this is really long. I'm sorry. This is the only way I could get it out. I'm anxious as hell. I feel like I'm gonna throw up. But I just wanted it to be said without any cuts. I meant editing cuts. God. Okay, I'm just gonna go now. I'll see you.